Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So now we will review Welcome to March, and we will review February goals and how I did. Webtoon, I wanted to definitely return on February, but there was this picture that the school wanted and I didn't want to not sleep because my picture for my title of my engineering title was going to be taken. So I didn't want to sacrifice me looking very bad in that picture, obviously. So I did put back. So technically in March I have already published. I published the second, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, I published in March. And I was very sad because I really wanted to accomplish that goal for February. But I am still really happy. I was very nervous about going back. I really felt so guilty of being away from Webtoon for so long. It really was like, oh my god, nobody is going to be waiting for me. So I had very low expectations, which was very good, honestly, because then the comments I got, and there were already people asking me about my comic, and they were like, when are you going to come back? I missed this. And I was very happy when I saw people receiving my comic well. It's funny because I have like 800 something subscribers, but I don't expect that number on the number of likes and the number of comments. So I am really happy for the people that do like and comment. That's how it works sometimes, but I was very happy about the comments. Those are very special to me. And I don't know if you know this tip, but for creators and writers and comic creators, I got this tip for Jenna Morrissey, and it really does work, which is that when you are feeling unmotivated or rather sad and discouraged, you can make a folder of all your good comments. And I don't have a folder in my computer, but I do have it in my phone with all the good comments, and I reread them over and over again, and they really help me. So I don't know if any reader is actually watching this channel. I think only creators that also want to make comics. But in any case, I am really grateful about those comments. But yeah, I will stop talking about it. And yeah, finally May is disguising as a man and partying. She took a long time, but it was important for me to include her backstory. And I will say why, because this is a vlog and I am allowed to ramble. But it was important. She has a goal. Like, her goal isn't only to finish the war. Her goal is also to retire from her services and going back to live with her mother. And her mother is the only person she truly loves in this world, and she thinks she is the most important person, and every sacrifice, everything that she does and that it is wrong, it is more or less justified in her head because she's doing it for the love of her life, her love of her life right now, who is her mother. Then YouTube I didn't do as well. I did very badly, but I published like I think only one video. Oh my god, only one video. So embarrassing. But yes, I'm not counting this one because this is in March as well. Maybe February also counts. I don't remember, but I did very badly on that aspect. But I did it on purpose because I was taking such a long time with this video about Witch, which is one of my favorite comic books ever. But I realized that by me taking so long on each YouTube video, and sometimes it didn't take only one day, it took 2 days, or 3 days sometimes, because of all the technical issues that happen in a video. And I realized that I wasn't prioritizing my comic over YouTube. And YouTube is only a means to make the comic succeed. So my priorities were wrong. And I definitely when I realized, I was like, nope, if it takes longer than a day, then it goes to next week. And that's what happened. Because of many mistakes, I think the Witch video took me like 2 weeks. because I only dedicate a day's work time. But yeah, and I was very happy about that decision because YouTube is fun for me, but if it takes more than one day, I do find it really frustrating, especially because the comic is more important. And I was very happy about working on the comic. Like, I was, okay, the video wasn't ready in time, so I'm just going to work on the comic. And I was very happy about that decision because honestly, comics is my passion and I can really feel it. It doesn't matter if I am tired or I don't feel like it. I am like, yes, well, but it's my comic, and it's easy for me to work so hard because it's my passion on comics. Meanwhile, the other ones require even more discipline, and even though I think that's alright, it shouldn't take time from my comic. But yeah, well, I only published very few videos, but I do plan to start making easier videos like speed paints you already saw. And I am trying to fix OBS. It took like 3 days and I haven't yet fixed it because no matter what I do, it doesn't work. And I have done every fix on the internet, but yes, technical issues all the time, but it is important for me to mention them because there are so many tutorials that I wanted to make for comics of things that I think are going to be very useful to someone that's starting out on comics and on Photoshop, but I cannot record them because OBS doesn't work. My equipment, my AverMedia that I was using broke as well. And the only thing that I have left is like the Xbox screen recorder, which doesn't record the things that I select, the tools that I choose. So for a tutorial it's completely useless. I have lots of excuses, but priorities go first. Now I already have Patreon and finally I have a reward, which are chapters in advance. I don't expect to have followers there anytime soon because even though I do have more or less an audience, I think the comic needs chapter 5 complete and a little bit of chapter 6 to, I don't know, to be interesting enough. I will try to continue to have my buffer there and to upload more things. I have continued working out and this time I have been more consistent. Like I do 4 days a week and then I take like 3 days rest and or something, you know. I have been trying to make it more often and finally I have started to see changes. But the most important changes and the ones that I have valued the most are my pain when working. I no longer have to stop from drawing because of the pain, because it really helps with all the artistic injuries. I feel tired all the time. I have to take power naps all the time, but while working out I do have more energy and I am really grateful about that because it really drove me crazy to be so unproductive. Then Instagram, I am going to try to be more active, especially on the stories, but I am not sure how worth it is. I feel it is worth it. I was analyzing other comic creators. That's something that I do a lot, and I was even analyzing their Patreon, and I saw I should make more of a video about this, but what I saw was like there were the normal patrons that had more or less good amount of patrons. There were the ones that had not safe for work comics and that those did much better than the normal for all ages Patreon pages. And over that there was a Webtoon creator and he didn't have lots of rewards or anything. He was more like, he is known because he is indeed a featured creator, but keep into account that I was indeed checking other Webtoon featured creators and they didn't have as much support, and I believe the reason is because he does sell his Patreon page a lot in his Instagram, That's where I follow him on YouTube, but he deleted his videos, which that was very sad for me because he had amazing tutorials that I used over and over again, but yes, whatever. I was really upset. But yeah, anyway, he is very active on Instagram. He interacts a lot with his followers and he's all the time updating to his stories about everything. He shares so much of his life compared to all other comic creators I have seen. There's no other comic creator that I have seen sharing so much of his life. I think it's probably his personality and the things he shares, but I also think that it's because he's very transparent. People support him and understand him. Sometimes not. And sometimes he can come across as, some people have said that they see him as mean, but most of the fans do love him and do understand his bitterness, or when he's in a bad mood, they are like, oh yeah, it's because they are stupid, my lord. That's also, he has a lot of jokes with his audience, and even has a comic that in a way managed to interact a lot with his audience, and I should analyze him, but yeah, he's fascinating. So I do think that Instagram may work a little bit if I am that transparent, but I am not sure if I should do a complete video about Instagram. Instagram, I haven't been active at all, but I am going to try to stay more active. Of course, I updated, I made a post when my comic was ready, and I do want to make a video about this because this is something I want to analyze and think really deeply about. But right now, Instagram, I think it's an afterthought. I don't think it should have any priority over the comic. I think most of the people that are going to follow my Instagram are going to follow because of the comic, because I have been there for years and that's what has worked the most. Something that I am indeed doing is trying to have at least 2 to 5 hours a day on my comic, no matter what happens, no matter if I have homework, exams, etc., anything. But of course, school does have priority still. I will graduate soon, so that will be over soon. But yeah, and my boyfriend has been doing very well with his Twitch channel. I also want to help him make a banner. It's going to be very simple, according to him, and to make a better profile picture for him, because I drew the one he has now, but I think I can make it a better one, and I always forget to do it, and I am really sorry, but he's doing very good. And if you like video games and you want to support him, I will put his links down below, and you know, if you want to. Also, regarding my writing goals, I already finished my outline, which thus gives me a sense of relief, and I will proceed to, I already have some scripts, so I will proceed to make it into scripts, and also make some sort of first draft. So in a way, you cannot make perfect something that doesn't exist. So I have to keep writing and developing everything. Feeling like I am finally back in the arena, I don't know if that's the term, but I am very happy to have my comic published. I already have the next date, and I am very happy of people reading my story. I won't stop saying that, but yes, I will just bye. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos. If you have suggestions of things to talk about, especially on a speed paint, because those are the easier videos, please comment down below. And yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye!